Hi, I'm Raymond Bottone, and I'm one of the directors at My Salon Manager. I'm also a salon owner and a user of Colourstart. But don't worry, like unbiased opinion coming at you. So, firstly, I want to talk about when things go wrong for a salon owner, and let's put the insurance, everything to the side. Let's put allergy testing to the side for the moment, and let's talk about one of the number one things that can go wrong. You spent a ton of time, reputation, possibly money on adverts, your Instagram, all the time you spend making your salon a busy environment. You spend all this time, all this energy, getting a new color client through the door. They come in, they have their skin test, and they never come back. Now, that's the worst thing from my perspective that can happen because new client growth is absolutely essential for any salon business. More importantly, not giving them a free dab of color or even Colourstart, and they walk out the door never to return again. Now, I think one of the reasons that this can happen is that, well, for more reasons than one, sometimes it's like outside of your control, but essentially someone can come into your salon and have an experience which isn't necessarily meeting what you've said it would be like. So, for example, if you've overpromised and under-delivered, clients feel underwhelmed at the skin test. It doesn't match the branding or the promises you make online, or the culture that you share to the world via Instagram. So they come in and it just fails to meet their expectations. So they think, blow that, I'm not coming back. Now, for me, that's one of the worst things that can happen because you've wasted all that time, all of that energy. And I think so often the skin test and sometimes the color consultation is overlooked. That first experience, some salons will actually leave the consultation. They'll do the skin test as a practical thing that needs to be done and pop in. You say to the client, come in, pop in, and we'll do the skin test and we'll talk about your hair next time. Now, I've heard that as a salon owner. And I think ultimately that's such a missed opportunity. And I know we're tight on time sometimes, but that first appointment, that first allergy testing is the first real service that you provide to your client. Okay, so it speaks volumes about your salon when that person comes into the salon, is sitting around for 5 or 10 minutes waiting for the skin test to be applied or indeed having it applied. And they do get a feel of the culture. And it's the first time someone in your salon essentially touches them to put the color on. So real thinking here needs to go into how do we make our skin test as fantastic as the other services we provide? Is it just a practical step that we take, or is there more to it? Can we use this to sell more out of our salon? Can we use this as a platform to convince that client this is the place that you belong? This is the salon you should be coming to. Okay. Now, of course, it goes without saying, I'm here to speak about Colourstart, but also allergy testing. And I think just kind of tilting, closer in that direction, that I think that you do need to review as a first step what we are currently doing. What are you currently doing in the salon? What should you be doing? And what would you like to do? Now, remember, when you do this, there are only two ways of allergy testing. There's nothing in between. It's either wrong or it's right. So really take that into consideration when you're reviewing your position. And I believe the email that had this video in it, the link, you've also got a link to a really super handy toolkit that will guide you through, being able to diagnose an issue with skin testing if you possibly have one. Okay. Now remember, wrong, right. Now with that information that you get from the toolkit, or perhaps you just decide to go and review your manufacturer's guidelines and insurance terms on your own, take that to the team. Take your findings to the team. Jot down any findings where you're not hitting the mark, where you are. Celebrate the wins, or catch them when they're good, but also discuss the points where you're not fulfilling your obligations. They are vulnerabilities. They can lead to challenges, not just reputational, but otherwise. So take it to the team. Open discussion. How can we make this better? Okay. Once you've done that, put something together, run it by them, and whatever you guys decide, put it into place, but don't just leave it in place. Review. Make sure that you review it, because things have a habit of coming unstuck or not going quite to plan when you first introduce something. Okay. Now, if you don't do that, of course, the salon continues to operate as usual. But I think there's a real opportunity here, not only to protect your business against the client talking about, I've had a reaction and you haven't tested me properly, but also protecting your business against losses of clients because they come in and the skin testing isn't saying we are treating your well-being with absolute respect and have a glimpse at the culture and the excellence of our salon. Okay, something to think about there. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this video has been inspiring, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram at Raymond Bottone. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.